Hello everyone, Kevin Kirkley here from Techformality, the blog that focuses on technology, product reviews, news, and how-to guides. With that being said, today we are going to take a look at VIPRE Antivirus Plus as the security software and how it performs as a whole. With that being said, before we get started, I wanted to direct you to the description of this video. If you are interested in purchasing a subscription to VIPRE Antivirus Plus, or their two higher tiers, the Ultimate Bundle as well as the Advanced Security, there are discount links posted in the link below to my blog post. So if you go on there and check out the blog post, there are some links that will give discounts for their software as a whole. So just keep that in mind, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so as always, we're going to break this video up into three different sections. The first will be installation of the product. The second will be a review of the GUI of the actual software itself and the features that it includes. And then the third will be a prevention test that we always like to run just to see how it actually performs in the day-to-day real-world experience. So with that being said, I'm going to go over some brief system specs that are required for the software first. So VIPRE recommends 2 gigabytes of hard drive space available, at least 1 gig of RAM, dual core processor, internet connection obviously to get the latest definitions and software updates, and then a 32 or 64-bit operating system of Windows 10, 8.1, or Windows 7, the Convenience Roll-Up Edition. There is a Mac product for VIPRE, but that can also that's actually a completely separate entity of VIPRE, so you would have to purchase that from the Mac side of VIPRE, and this you cannot freely install Windows and Mac versions on top of one another, so you'd have to actually get a completely separate platform for that. This is basically the features that are included with it. Free US-based support, top-rated antivirus security, malware, spyware, and ransomware detection and removal. Real-time scans ensure apps and files are safe to use. Cloud enabled for fastest protection possible. Automatic updates, and then they also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. And as I was stating, if you do go to my blog and the links in the description, you will have some discount codes in there to access and purchase a subscription for a cheaper price. So just keep that in mind if you are shopping around for an antivirus. You will get those discount codes. So now we're going to go ahead and jump right into the installation. So if you give me 1 second, we will go ahead and get right into that. Alright, so I have downloaded the VIPRE Antivirus Plus trial. This is just a trial edition to go ahead and install this so we can get it tested. And initially you get a prompt from UAC, so just go ahead and hit yes on that. And then this is just a little message here. Thank you for choosing VIPRE. We're excited to protect you. Your free trial starts here. Here's their end user license agreement. So by clicking agree, you agree to this. You can go and read that if you want. You can actually click here to change where VIPRE is installed to select a path other than the default on your computer. So we're going to go ahead and hit agree and continue here. And we're going to go ahead and let it install. It's preparing the computer, getting needed files, getting the latest VIPRE version. It's installing, it'll get the latest definitions, and then it'll perform a first scan. So we're going to go ahead and pause until all that finishes, and then whenever we come back, I will greet you back with the main screen of the VIPRE console. Okay, and we are back now. Installation took several minutes, not very long, and as you can see, we're all set. VIPRE is installed, and your computer is now secure. We can continue to VIPRE. Now note there is a box down here that says update threat track or ThreatNet with new information for this computer. Basically you can click on what is ThreatNet, and you can already see there's a virus that was blocked from opening. Let's just click on that and see what's going on here. Not sure what that could be. As this was a new install of Windows, so it is a virtual machine. I'm not sure what that was. So it says you're all set and VIPRE is ready to go. So I would uncheck ThreatNet if you don't want to send statistics from your computer to here, and then just go ahead and hit continue. And at this time, I'm going to mention really quick that I do have some experience with the VIPRE Business Edition as well. VIPRE Endpoint Security. This is what we are currently using in our offices. And we've had it for a few years now, and due to the fact that we are nonprofit, they do offer some really good pricing. So from what all of the features that we received from VIPRE, and we've had them for the past few years and haven't had any major attacks or threats, we definitely recommend them as a company as well. I don't have any problems with them. Their support's really good. If you have any issues, you contact them and they get the issues resolved right away. So I do recommend them for the business side of things as well. Okay, so on with the review. So whenever you're logging in for the first time or opening the GUI up, you will see here My VIPRE is the main tab. And then on the left, you're greeted with your computer is safe and protected. It shows when your last scan was, and then it also shows the updates for threat definitions, and they are current. So that's on the left side. On the right, see what we're up to at VIPRE. You can click here to check out their blog. Scan, you have the option to do a full scan, quick scan, or a custom scan. A custom scan, you can actually select any of these items if you want running programs, registry, cookies, rootkits, archived and compressed files. You can choose to scan any of those. You can add a new location. If you have a specific location, just say this folder, for example, we can select that folder and add it in there. You can also add a specific file if you wanted to upload a file to have this scanned. You can do that. And then you can also use VIPRE's rapid scan technology, and then shut down the computer after the scan completes if you would want to do that. And then you would just click scan and start the scan that way. On the left side, or correct me, the right side, is the scheduled scan. So you can set up a full scan or quick scan. You can actually select what day you want the scan to run, how frequently you want it to run, and so on and so forth. And that can be either a full scan or quick scan, or you can create a custom scan as well. And then down here at the bottom, we have protected you from one threat already. You can actually click, and you can actually see what threat it was. Key manager. I'm not sure what that is. It might be a false positive because, like I said, this is a brand new install of Windows. So, but it actually shows you your scans, the details in the scans, how many files were cleaned, how many were detected, active protection. It shows what was blocked websites if there are any. It will show here, and edge protection it will show there as well. On to the next tab is account. You can see here all of your information. So you can see subscription status as a trial, when it expires. You can refresh to see your latest information. If you do get a new key or something entered in here, you might have to refresh. You can change your product key from here. You can change your theme if you wanted a new theme from VIPRE. You can choose any of these. So this would be like for people that are colorblind and whatnot, so you can actually see the background better. And then visit VIPRE for help down here. You can actually submit a question here, and it would take you to their FAQs. And then the next tab is manage. So here are some of the settings that you have access to. The quarantine, viruses and other threats that are put here, so your computer cannot be harmed. We can manage the items and see basically the items that are in here. And like I said, it's showing this one, but I don't believe this is a virus. As I said, this is a new virtual machine, and it's a checkpoint that's rolled back every time I do a review. So we can delete quarantine items, delete threats after 2 weeks that are in quarantine. That just gives you a chance if there is a false positive, you can go back in there and re-add it to your computer or allow it from being blocked for the future. Advanced active protection is on, and this is basically the shields that are running on your computer 24/7 so that you are protected. You can turn these off if you wish. I don't know why you would want to do that unless you're trying to get a program to install that's being blocked constantly. You can always do it that way. So basically, scans your computer in real time, scan files when they are opened or copied. So anytime I copy and paste a file from a folder to a different folder, it would scan that item, or if I would open an application, it would scan it proactively as I'm running that application. And you can manage the file types of what are scanned, so you can actually turn on and off. So just for example, if you don't want any JavaScript files being scanned, you can turn that off, and you can go through and actually go through and add or remove scan items that you want depending on the file type. And then also you can hit custom up here, and you can add a new file extension if the known file type is not listed here. If you had a file extension that you were working in a database or some kind of application that you needed to have watched, you can add that in here as well. Next up, block potentially malicious processes. So what this is, it basically looks at processes that are running, sees how many times they're running and different things. If it's a process that is duplicating processes in the background and has 50 processes running, that would be flagged as a potentially malicious process. So it would take, and it actually says here, we'll review the actions processes take. If the intent seems malicious, we'll stop the process before they can do any harm. So it's a proactive process scanner as well. So that's definitely a benefit of this solution. Level of advanced active protection. Performance-wise, you can set it this one or most secure. I would recommend the most secure so that you don't ever have to worry about it, and you're always secured to the highest of the ability of the software. Look inside archives, so you can actually set it up so that it will scan inside of zip files and RARs and different 7-zip files, different archives such as that. It will cause a slowdown, it says, because it has to check every single file. So if you wanted to do that, you could. Whenever you unzip the file, you could always scan it manually, or whenever you go to run an application that's inside of a zip file, it would protect you from the shields that are running. Edge protection, it stops exploits and other online threats from being downloaded from most web browsers. This is not on by default, so I would go ahead and turn that on, and you can actually allow managed websites. So let me see here. You can actually whitelist a specific website if you have a website you download from all the time. So we are going to leave that on during the test just so that we can see how it actually works. Web filtering blocks websites that might be dangerous. You can choose to unblock specific websites, and you would go ahead and in here and whitelist websites that you do not want to be blocked. Handle threats automatically. This will give you the option to either quarantine or delete a threat. I would recommend leaving the automatic handling on, so that will actually quarantine or delete a threat depending on the severity of it. Catch-up scan. If a scheduled scan is missed for any reason, we'll do a quick scan the next available opportunity. So if, for example, your computer was set up to do a custom scan that was scheduled at midnight and your computer was turned off, the next time it turns on, it will run a quick scan instead of doing that scheduled scan. Second layer scan, run a full scan if a quick scan detects a risk. This offers a second layer of protection, so you can actually set it up to run a quick scan at some point. If it does find a threat inside of that quick scan, it would then run a full scan behind it just to confirm nothing else is on your computer that's malicious. Scan removable drives. When inserting a device such as a USB stick, it'll scan for viruses and other threats, so that is definitely a bonus feature there, that it does scan those removable drives, because flash drives are known for malicious software and viruses on those. Include low-risk programs. This setting also applies to active protection. So basically any low-risk programs that are running, such as tracking programs or anything that can't harm your computer but they're just low risk, tracking cookies, different things like that, it will go ahead and include these as low risk programs on the scans and the active protection as well. This is where you can whitelist a file. So for example, if you have a database that is constantly being blocked for whatever reason, you can go in here and add a new file location, folder path, or file name, and it will exclude that file from the scans or from being blocked. So that's just to whitelist a file if you actually know a file is safe and you use it constantly, just to prevent it from being aggravating. Wake up from sleep. So wakes the computer up for scheduled scans. You can turn that on. That depends on your NIC settings and your display settings, if it's able to do that or not. It's on by default, so you can change that if you would like. Battery saver conserves battery power by delaying updates and skipping scheduled scans. If the laptop is plugged in, scheduled scans and updates will happen as normal. So that's just a battery saver feature. If you have a laptop, you can turn that on or off, and by default it's off because I have a desktop, so it does not even give me the option to turn it on or off. And then antivirus history, we can go ahead and hit view history here, and it would show all the items, and that was the first screen we were in from the home page. So you can go in there and view that, and then delete history after 2 weeks. You can actually set this to 2 days, 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, never keep all history. Notifications, do not show notification when scheduled scan is started. That's just to run in the background so it doesn't actually bother you and let you know that it's running. It is running if it's scheduled. And do not show notification pop-up when a thread is blocked. You can turn this on or off. I'm going to leave mine on by default so that we can actually see what is being blocked as we run through the test. And then use our recommended settings. You can restore to antivirus defaults at any time by clicking this button here. And then to the updates tab on the left, automatic updates ensures VIPRE's defenses are most current. So this is actually the definition updates, and they are on by default. Make sure your computer protection is current. So it actually scans every 30 minutes. You can change it to 15, hourly, every 3, 4, 6, 8 hours, twice daily, or manually. I would just leave it at the default 30 minutes. That should be fine. And then check for definitions after startup. So whenever your computer starts for the first time, it will go through and scan and find the latest updates and install those for you. ThreatNet updates. Update us with information about threats so we can protect you and others better. So this was the on that install screen, we got the ability to enable this or not. I'm going to leave it off. I don't want to share any information with VIPRE, but you can turn this on if you like, and it would send the threat information to VIPRE to better assist other people as well. Proxy for updates. If you wanted to use a proxy server for updates, you can use that. Software is up to date. So this is software updates. The first one I was explaining was definition updates, which are the definitions that are pushed to your VIPRE console every time that a new definition is released. Software updates is the actual software itself, what changes in the menus and adds features and different things like that. That would be a software update. So if there are any, you can click check now, and if there are any over here, it would say install. A lot of times it installs automatically. Sometimes you have to actually go in and manually push it. Just depends on the version you're upgrading to. And then you can view update history here. That just shows of all the different versions that you updated to. And then also shows definition updates too in here. And then you can also restore update defaults at the bottom. So the left is privacy. The last one, secure file eraser, securely and completely eliminate any trace of files from your computer. And we can actually turn this on if we wanted to. And it says here, to securely erase a file or folder, right click on it, choose to securely erase files and folders from your computer by right clicking the context menu. Be careful, you cannot undo this action. So if we wanted to delete this file here, we would go ahead and click on right click, and then you would, I don't know, I've never used this feature before. Oh, there it is right there. Securely erase selected files and folders. So that is a feature built into VIPRE, and that's just not going straight to the recycling bin. That's actually erasing and writing over the drive. So if you really wanted to delete something that was not able to be traced, you can go and use that feature there, and whenever you turn that off, it goes away, so you can't accidentally click it. And like it says, be careful, because you cannot undo or retrieve those files. So that is the VIPRE Antivirus Plus interface in a nutshell, and that is basically all that it has to offer. So there are some important features such as the file eraser here, and then also the edge protection. We're going to see how this works out whenever we're doing our test, just to see how it works out, because like I said, I've never used that before, so we will see what happens whenever we do use that for our test. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with our test, and I'm going to be back in just 1 second here. I'm going to pull up the links, and we will go ahead and get started. Okay, so we do have 13 links here that I pulled from zero-day malware websites and databases. So we will go ahead and try some of these and see if they work. I got 13 because we had some dead links on the last review that I did, so we will just go ahead and be prepared. So let's go ahead and get started here. And as you can see, that's already a dead website, so that's the first one that's dead. The next one we will see here, it's an exe. And we'll see if it loads and lets us download it. This is another exe here. So this one is a dead one, the first one. This next one is blocked by Chrome, so we will go ahead and visit this site anyways. And it doesn't work either, so it's dead. And we'll look at the next one here. This one is letting me download it. And as you can see here on the top right, VIPRE protected you. And Chrome is blocking it, it's showing, but it actually is blocked by VIPRE. If we go into the console here, you'll be able to see that right there. It was blocked. I don't think it shows any information on it. Blocked website, scan. Yeah, so it does show here that it was blocked as a Google Chrome item, so that one was definitely blocked from VIPRE as well as Chrome. And we'll go ahead and go to the next one. That one is dead. It's very hard to find malicious links nowadays. Malware domain list was the main one that I used to use. It was taken offline. It's actually still online, but they don't ever update any new links. So it is hard to find some links here, so bear with me. And as you can see here, this was actually the web filter that was blocked from, this would be VIPRE's web filter, and they have this page here that displays blocked website, so this definitely was a blocked website, so that's a bonus point for VIPRE. The next one is another blocked website through the web filter. This is going to be a PDF file, which doesn't work. Blocked website from the web filter. Blocked website from the web filter. And I do have to say that VIPRE's web filter is definitely increased from the first version that I've used from the business side of things. It definitely blocks pretty much any threat that you throw at it. So their statistics and definitions are always up to date for the 0-day threats. So that's another block. Go ahead and try running this. We're downloading this zip file here. And that actually downloaded, so we'll go ahead and come back to that here in 1 second. And this last one was blocked as well. So let's look into this and see what we have. This was some kind of export. Not showing anything there. Let's go ahead and run a scan on this file from VIPRE. And it shows 0 files have been cleaned. Let's go ahead and extract this. It's showing nothing malicious there. I'm actually not even sure what this is. Let's just try running the application. Yeah, I'm not even sure what that application is. It looks like some kind of game that somebody might have developed. Not sure there. So let me see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to go ahead and pause here and see if we can't find another few more links just so we can go ahead and get an even number of items that tested and worked. So hold on 1 sec. Okay, we are back and we have a few more links here, so let's go ahead and see what we can get out of these 3 more links. And that's going to be a block for VIPRE as well. I wish whenever you clicked on that Learn More button, it would actually pull up the interface and show you what threat was blocked. However, it just shows VIPRE's website. So that one was blocked. Let's go ahead and try these 2. These are Discord links, so somebody must have uploaded a file into Discord. Not sure, that doesn't even look like a virus to me. neither does that one. So I would say those are, just go and look at VirusTotal real quick. And we will upload these files and see what they look like. So just one antivirus rising chose that one as or showed it as a virus. This one is a false positive. So we will go ahead and mark these both as false positives. And we will go ahead and cap the testing there. And we'll go ahead and tally everything up and see what we have. So give me 1 second and we'll be right back. Okay, so after tallying everything up, overall we did a test of total of 16 links. However, 5 of those were dead. And then 8 were blocked. So we will go ahead and subtract these 5 from that. And then also there's 2 false positives. So we'll actually subtract 7. And then we will also see, after we run the Malwarebytes and Hitman Pro and Norton Power Eraser scans, and a full scan with VIPRE, of course, we will go ahead and kick that off right now, actually. We will start the full scan with VIPRE to see if anything is found on the computer. And after this finishes, we will go ahead and start the Malwarebytes. While this is scanning, I'm going to go ahead and look in Task Manager and see what's going on. So as you can see, we do have a 2.2 out of 4 gigabytes of memory usage. So if we go into processes and filter by disk, VIPRE appears to be somewhat resource intensive whenever it's doing scans or whenever it's getting updates for the latest definitions. Mainly the scans because it is accessing your disk. It is only using about 20% of the disk though, depending on what it's scanning. So it's going up, as you can see, 55% memory, so it is using 232 megabytes of RAM, and it's about 15 to 20% of CPU. And that will go up and down depending on what it is currently scanning. So we will go ahead and continue the scan, let this see what happens, and then from there we will go ahead and run the Malwarebytes, Hitman Pro, and Norton Power Eraser scans. So stick with me just a few more minutes and we will see the final result. Alright, so we are back after a substantially long amount of time. I'm actually surprised how long the scan took overall. I would say at least 20 minutes or so for a virtual machine that's just been wiped recently. So that shouldn't have taken that long. However, it did find 4 items that were cleaned. So if we go ahead and go in here to the overview, there was a Trojan that was found and it was disinfected, and then there's 3 potentially unwanted programs that were disinfected as well. So it did find some things there. If we go and click on traces, it will show us. There was some kind of setup file, so it could have been that one that was downloaded through Google Chrome and then it was removed and it just left a trace, so it did remove that. So it did find that in the scan, so that's good. So with that being said, that was the results, and it took so long because it actually scanned every single item, which is what a full scan is supposed to do. It just seemed like it took a longer time than any other antivirus that I've reviewed in the past. So their scanning heuristics are a bit slow, however they do find things as they scan through, so just keep that in mind. Something else I wanted to show you here is that I uploaded the file that I ran from this sold-at server, and VirusTotal shows that there are 0 detections, so we are going to go ahead and mark that one as a false positive as well. So this unknown will become 0, valid links will become 8, and then because we had 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 8 is 16, so we did have 8 total links that worked. With that being said, so this will then go to 3. So VIPRE had a 100% block rate when it came to real detection. So I'm just going to confirm that we are still good by running a Malwarebytes and Hitman Pro scan just to see the final results. So we will go ahead and start that now and see what the results are as they finish. So we will be back here in a minute. Okay, and we are back here with the final results from Malwarebytes. So it did find 29 items. It is showing as spyware. So I'm not sure where spyware.stolen data. I'm not sure where those downloaded from, or if they're false positives or what, because I did run a Hitman Pro and it also did not find anything with spyware related other than tracking cookies, and this is a false positive. I can tell you that because the Hitman Pro, or correct me, the Combo Fix is an application that I use for malware removal, so I know that is a false positive. So Hitman Pro didn't find anything, but there are some spyware files that are or folders that are listed on here. I'm not sure if something slipped through. It doesn't seem to be affecting anything on the performance side of things, and like I said, these could just be false positives, or they could actually be there. I can't tell you for sure, but like I said, the operating system is fine. These could actually just be, if we can just look at one of these real quick. These might be remnants of folders that were there. So C program data. Let's see. Go ahead and try to get in here and see. And then one of these folders files. So yeah, it looks like all these folders are blank. So if I had to guess, well, these would be false positives, because the actual malware inside the files are gone, just the folders or remnants that were left over. So I would say that VIPRE actually did a completely great job. Overall, looking at the results from all the dead and false positive links removed, we had 8 valid links, and it did block all 8 of those, giving it 100% detection and prevention rate. So very good job for VIPRE there. I could say I'm surprised, but I am not, because like I said, I'm using this software in a business organization, and the setting there is pretty much virtual machines and workstations. So we have over 400 workstations with VIPRE installed on every single one of them. A centrally managed console to push out updates, scans, viewing detections, different things like that is all centrally managed, and it does a phenomenal job there as well. So I'm not surprised that it did a really good job here in the home platform setting as well. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just show you really quick. Now that everything's calmed down, VIPRE's not scanning, it's not updating or anything, we're looking at about 112 megabytes of RAM being used, 0% disk space, 0% CPU. So whenever it's just idle in the background, it is not resource intensive. 100 megs is not that much for an antivirus. But do note, whenever you do pull the latest definitions and run scans, it will go up and could slow your computer down a bit depending on the resources that you have available. With that being said, I will give VIPRE 100% as the block rate proved itself, and highly recommend this product. I will in the future do a review on the other 2 versions of VIPRE, which are Advanced Security and the Ultimate Security Bundle, and those include additional features from what this provides, but from the most part it actually does a very good job. So with that being said, please check out my technology blog. It is techformality.com, and also please comment, rate, and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or concerns, please comment them below, or you can go over to my website and click the contact button in the top right and submit a contact form, and I will respond to you as soon as I possibly can. With that being said, thank you for watching, and I appreciate your views and support, and we will see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.